All right, this week I am taking another road trip and I'm going to be doing it in the Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid. I'm starting in Chicago, I'm heading to Indianapolis, I'm picking up my family, we're driving to Lima, Ohio, we're heading back to Indianapolis, I'm dropping off my family, and then I'm coming back to Chicago. So I have a feeling I'm going to have a lot of road trip things to say about this vehicle. My name is Jill Ciminillo with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and let's take a road trip in the 2025 Hyundai Santa Fe right now. I will just kick this off with a quick walk around of the Hyundai Santa Fe Hybrid in terms of worthiness for a road trip. And you know what? We're just gonna start back here because this is kind of a big deal. Hyundai had really spent time focusing on how to design this rear cargo area, and it may look a little bit funny, but here's the thing. With the way that they designed it, yeah, we managed to fit 2 rollerboards in my backpack in here. My husband will take his backpack up front with him because he's probably going to work a little bit on the way, but I think this is pretty impressive. You could probably fit 3 rollerboards back here. I mean, not that that's 6 rollerboards, which is enough for a road trip, but I just think that the way they designed this and the use of space in the back is really good for a road trip. All right, so that's kind of high, but I can reach it. And the other thing I want to point out is the charger cup holder situation, and obviously we'll be talking about this more as the review goes on, but you have dual chargers, wireless chargers, you have your USB-C ports, and then you have 2 cup holders here, you have a bottle holders in the door, so we've got plenty of space here for both me and my husband to have a couple of beverages while we are driving. And yep, I'm going to be putting people in the 2nd and 3rd rows, so we'll figure out how that goes as well, because yeah, we're taking a road trip. All right, we are getting ready to embark on the road trip, and I just want to show that I have reset the trip computer, and so we should get a really good gauge of how many miles we've driven and what our average fuel economy is by the time I get back to Chicago. So here we go. Time to take a drive. All right, we are nearly to Indianapolis, and as you can see, we've hit some weather. And I just wanted to do a quick check-in because my fuel gauge is showing that I am at 25.6 miles per gallon, and this is a hybrid. I think, I'm not sure, but I think this is supposed to be higher than that. But 3 hours on the road, I'm still feeling pretty comfortable. The seat is feeling pretty good. Although I will say we got stuck an extra half an hour in traffic. I'm ready to be done, and this weather isn't helping. It's pushing the vehicle around the road a little bit. But in all, I mean, I've been driving between 70 and 80 miles an hour, so I'm sure speed has something to do with it. We only have 1,000 miles on the odo, so it's probably not broken in yet. That probably has a little something to do with it. And yeah, the weather has something to do with it. So not getting as good a fuel economy as I wanted so far, but generally pretty comfortable. And I will say, just before I started filming, my phone did stop charging on the charger. It overheated. So that still gets a thumb down for me. I feel like I mentioned that in the first look drive, so still not good. All right, we'll probably just check in tomorrow, and we're getting ready to go to Ohio. Yeah, you are.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Do I have to sign a waiver?
Nope, no waiver. All right, as you can tell, I have now picked up my family from Indianapolis. We're driving to Lima, Ohio.
Did we
Get the urn? Did somebody get the urn?
No, we did not. We're going to have to go back and... No, seriously, did somebody get the urn?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I left it on
The
the hood.
responsible one got the
Wait,
urn.
it's gone.
All right,
What
so...
did you earn?
I earned a lot.
All right, so as you can see, I have picked up my family, and we are in
She's editing the crap.
Indianapolis, heading to
No idea why.
Lima, Ohio. Oh, I'm not editing this at all. All of this is going into it. We've driven about 195 miles so far, and it's another, okay, so my Apple CarPlay is in kilometers. It's another 263 kilometers to Lima. We are at 25.7 miles per gallon. And as you can see, my brother-in-law and my sister, who you can't see, is in the way back, and then my husband and my other sister, who is also ducking from the camera, are in the middle seats, and then my mom, whose like shoulder you can see, is in the passenger seat. So, yeah, just the hand. Yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm going to be very curious to see how my brother-in-law is doing in the third row after 3 hours. All right.
27 bottles of beer on the wall, 27 bottles of beer.
As you can see, still have my family in the car. We did a little bit of musical chairs. My brother-in-law had been sitting in the back and moved forward. My husband went into the way back. And what I want to do in this segment is I'm gonna take my microphone and I'm gonna pass it around. And if people would like to tell you what they think about how they're feeling. So, all right.
They think about how they're feeling?
Yes, by being in the car. All right, so I'm passing the mic to my mom first.
Oh, this is a mic?
Yes, that's
Oh, okay. I'm feeling fine. I would like to be out of the car for a day. Then I'll take another trip. It's a nice car. I just wish I had a pad that I could sit on that raised me up a little bit.
So you're feeling a little short?
I'm feeling a little short.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, here.
Pass it back.
Second row, lap of luxury. The way back, I'd be considered the poverty section. Julie?
Julie loves the seats.
I need the shield that Maxwell Smart had, like the
Oh, the cone of silence.
That would be awesome if you could add that to this car. That would be amazing. I also need more cushion in my chair.
Left
I need
turn
better
right, Jill.
heat
Left turn
in
right,
my
Jill.
chair. I need my own controls for the air conditioning in my chair. If you could also add a
this is so much
charger
nicer
for an
back
iPhone 15 back here, that would be great.
Could you speak to a manager also?
I would like to speak to a manager while I'm in my chair. Those are all the things that I need while I'm in my chair.
This chair.
Oh, if it could have
this
a
fan,
footrest,
that's
that would be
cool.
great in my chair.
And a lamp.
Passing
Yeah.
it back.
And my dog.
I like that it has a real plug so that I can keep working on my computer.
All right. Awesome.
I love sitting in the back with my sister-in-law.
How were the seats?
They're comfortable.
Yeah, and wait
You're
for a
gonna
couple
sit
hours.
comfortable.
You're not going to think comfortable in a couple hours.
All right. Yeah. So that is
I'm the only grumpy one.
that is
That says more about you and less about us.
that is the commentary from the Peanut Gallery, and yeah, I've got 6 hours of this. So you only have like 20 minutes. I got 6 hours.
All right.
Well,
26 bottles of beer on the wall, 26 bottles of beer.
Yeah, I love my life. All right, so we made it back to Indiana, and before I ditch my family, I'm going to show you that my mother's walker did fit behind the seats of the third row in the Hyundai Santa Fe. And yeah, so there you go. We did have room for 6, although some people were more comfortable than others. And we had room for my mom's walker. I'm also going to show that we have now gone 516.5 miles, and we're averaging about 26.7 miles per gallon. So I filled up before we left. I'll fill up before we head back to Chicago tomorrow, and I'll do another check-in when I'm on the road back to Chicago. All right, I've ditched my family back in Indianapolis. I'm heading back to Chicago, and so I figured it's time for me to do a little bit of a check-in, and I can give you my driving impressions. So I've really tried to lower my speed and try and see if I could get my fuel economy to go up, because I've been averaging in the 25, 26 miles per gallon range. This vehicle should get 34 miles per gallon. I'm not even getting close to that. And even once I'm going 75 miles an hour and the speed limit is 70, and people are like passing me like crazy. I'm not going with the flow of traffic. I'm going slower than the flow of traffic, but I'm trying to be a little less of a lead foot to see if I can get the fuel economy to go up. And yeah, the answer to that is no, not really. I'm at 26.9. I've been hovering around 27 miles per gallon. That's still a very far cry from 34 miles per gallon. Now, in terms of the rest of the driving impressions, I feel like the ride and handling is pretty comfortable. The steering is pretty tight. It doesn't feel that loose. The highway drive assist works really well with the adaptive cruise control and the steer assist functionality. And I, have really good visibility out of all of the windows. But let's get to the seats. You may have heard my family talking about the seats a little bit, and I actually have to concur with that. These seats are just a little bit firm, and this is a calligraphy trim. So I feel like there should be a little bit more padding, there should be a little bit more give going on here, and there just isn't. So, each time I've been in the vehicle, I've been driving like 3 hours without stopping, and I get out and I'm just like doing back extensions and kind of like wiggling around a little bit because, yeah, my butt hurts. Now, the other thing I want to say is the wireless charging definitely is heating up my phone. And hot to the touch, and I will say after about 2.5 hours, it does stop charging my phone. And while it doesn't power down Apple CarPlay, it doesn't shut off my phone, it just stops charging my phone. And so what happens is I'm not really gaining any charge on my phone, but I'm not losing charge on my phone. So I think that could have been done better. There needs to be a cool pad or something on the wireless charger. I'm like putting my hand on it right now, and it feels hot. It feels hot. So my phone's not even on it, and the wireless charger feels hot. What else do I want to say? I like the gauge cluster. I like the 12.3-inch screen that, filled out with my Waze and Apple CarPlay. I like the blind view monitor. I like that a lot. That's been very helpful as we've been driving in inclement weather, and I like put my blinker on and I can like check and make sure that the lanes are clear for me to change lanes. So I've liked all of that stuff. The one thing that I just kind of don't get is going to be the lane change assist when you are in the highway drive assist. And so you turn on your blinker, and you've got to like give the steering wheel just a very light touch, because if you give it too much input, like you're changing lanes and you're steering, the vehicle is like, woo, steering input canceled, the lane change assist is canceled. But if you take your hands completely off the wheel, it doesn't like that either. So there's just this fine touch of when you put your blinker on and, just kind of giving a little bit of a light touch. Yeah, see, everybody's passing me. I'm going 75 in a 70 mile an hour zone. Everybody's passing me. Sorry. But yeah, so the lane change assist, I don't really understand that. If you're not in a hands-free driving situation, it doesn't really make sense to me. In terms of road trip, I was the only driver, but I really appreciate the Memory 1 and Memory 2 settings. So if I did need to trade off with anybody, it would be very easy to get back to my driver settings. I like the cup holders here and then the bottle holders in the door, so I could have a cup of coffee and a bottle of water and alternate between the two, and my passenger could do the same. So I think there's plenty of cup holders. I like the finishing touches on the calligraphy trim, from the wood accents on the dash to the metal finishing accents on the air vents. And yeah, so I mean, if you're not going to be in the car for more than 2 hours, I think the seats are fine. But if you are really doing a road trip, and you do a lot of road trips, you really may want to think twice about this, because these seats are just firm. They're very firm. They are General Motors firm. Anybody who's watched me knows what that means. All right, so that's what I've got for you for driving impressions. Still sitting at 26.9 miles per gallon, driven 609.8 miles. I will do a final check-in when I get back to the city. So, yeah, final check-in coming your way right now. All right, I have exited the highway and I am now on surface streets in Chicago and I'm almost home. So I just wanted to do my final check-in, but before I do that, I do want to say that I'm dedicating this video to my dad who passed away on January 1st. And this journey was actually to go to Ohio to bury his ashes. So thank you for being on this journey with me. I hope my family provided some comic relief along the way. And thank you to Hyundai for providing this vehicle to get the 7 of us to Ohio. All right, now for the final check-in. I'm at 27.1 miles per gallon, so really not quite where I wanted to be. We've done a total of 708.5 miles. Yeah, I would like to be over 30 miles per gallon in a hybrid. So a little bit unfortunate that. But it's a 3-row vehicle. It's great for, I think, more along the lines of your carpool commute kind of drive, maybe not for your 3 hours road trip drive. Yeah. So that is what I have for you on the Hyundai Santa Fe hybrid road trip. Thanks for taking this journey with me, and I will see you down the road.